So my name's Jonty Evans and I'm an international event rider. During my career, which is reasonably lengthy, I've broken a fair few bones. In one accident I broke 7 ribs, collapsed a lung, punctured another and broke a collarbone. I've broken the other collarbone as well. I've broken a leg, I've broken some vertebra. I've also had a bleed on the brain. As a result of maybe cumulative injuries over the years, I found that there were postural issues with my riding and particularly finishing across country. I would finish fairly sort of out of position. And although I've worked very hard in the gym and so on, I felt that I needed to target where I was working and how I was doing it. So at the beginning of 2017, I was entered for badminton with Cooley Rorke's Drift, and without doubt the best chance I was going to have at being competitive at that kind of level. I felt that I needed to do more to help with postural issues. I didn't want to finish the cross country tired and so on, and I needed to be able to achieve everything I could bodily in order to help him. I was aware of the facilities at the therapy centre at Hartpury. I wanted to see what the facilities they had on offer were, and Dave Brailsford from UK Cycling is one of my heroes, where he says that, you know, the tiny margins are what make the medals, and I felt that with Hartpury's help I could, you know, maybe improve those tiny margins and then the end result would look after itself. So in the first session I met a lady called Liz Launder along with Catherine Nankervis at Hartpury, and I was introduced to the Racewood simulator, which is an impressive beast. And Liz basically assessed my physical well-being and so on, a series of tests, stretches and postural sort of assessments. I used the Racewood simulator. I had to ride in all 3 gates, and Liz was watching from the side and behind. And that's how we started the sort of assessment of what they could do for me to help my postural issues.
Jonty came in with a specific request for us to help him because he felt, in his words, scrappy towards the end of a cross-country course, and he also felt that he wasn't really harmonising specifically with the horse in the dressage. He wasn't able to get the best out of the horse or out of himself. And he didn't know what the problem was, and so we first of all took him into the rider performance suite in the normal way that we do, and I looked at him, just stood as a person, and looked at his physique, his shape, how he stood on the ground. I asked him to do a few simple exercises. I'm looking at how he bends forward, sideways, looking at the flexibility he had to establish his movement patterns and his pain thresholds. Then we put him onto the simulator, looked at him on the simulator, and from there I then actually took him into my treatment room because I felt that yes, he was a high-level athlete, but by his own admission he rode with discomfort, and one of the biggest problems he had was his breathing, and that was as a result of multiple rib fractures over many years, and it had led him to a posture that accommodated only one side of his ribs really moving fully, and he had ceased to breathe using his diaphragm fully. He just used his upper chest, and so he was inefficient. Some
of the problems that Liz detected were sort of from my pelvis, and then as you come up through my trunk. I wasn't really, interestingly, I was fit enough, but I wasn't really breathing properly through the right side of my right lung, and so my capacity was really reduced. So there was a lot of work on stretching, opening everything, and it's fascinating actually. She works a lot on your core and your middle and everything being lined up. And the improvement then started to become, you know, dramatic. And some of my homework was to use another of the Racewood simulators, the Race Trainer, and really it helped me particularly with my balance, my breathing. It really works your quads and your core. You'll see the jockeys using it, but I actually, Hartpury were good enough to lend it to me, and I took it home. And it really helped pre-badminton building up my ability to keep my breathing working as Liz had worked with me. And the proof really was in the pudding. My posture was improving. I was beginning to sit up so much more and carry myself and allow my horse to do everything for me. Dressage test at badminton was a particular highlight, and I've got a picture at home of me sitting up tall and chest out, and it really does make a huge difference, has helped me enormously.